Hello everyone, and welcome back to a new episode of Prismata. We're gonna jump in the queue. And I saw no games live just a moment ago, but looks like we have Flabagazda was waiting in queue, ready to pounce. 60 seconds, base plus 8. A lot of red support. And defense grid is pretty neatly countered by Vi, which should be very convenient to get. If your opponent devotes all this time to getting grid, you just get Vi and laugh at them. So it's mostly a red game. But what kind of red game? Oh, I'm player 2. I had this brief like, oh man, player 2 has all these really cool lines in this set. This sucks. But like, no, I'm player 2. I can do those things. DD1 is an interesting way to get phages, right? You end up with 11 drones, and you can like phage drone, which is just bonkers. And because of like, you'll probably add a full animus later, but it'll be totally fine to like spend whatever amount of red you want to. So you're never going to be sad to have this mobile animus lying around. I think the main question is like, well, A, do you get Reservoir? I think the answer to that has got to be no. But B, do you get Vi? That seems like it could be a yes. All right, so opponent's got this cool like, you know, phage, but my phage is better, so. I get this extra drone, right? Opponent's up half a turn, but I'm up 3 drones, and that's an okay trade. I assume they get another fast attacker next turn, either Phage or Rhino. I respond with my own Rhino, and like we move on from there. So it's going to be a slugfest. Opponent could have tried something slower by going like DD instead. Do I want a whole Animus? Seems fine. But I also I want a Conduit at some point, right? I could like click Phage, buy Rhino Perf or something. I might have trouble with that actually. Maybe a Conduit's more important. Because I think opponent wants Rhino plus something for $5, which looks like Perf or something. Maybe Tarsier. And then they're going to have 3 attack. My Rhino... Well... Rhino doesn't really defend against that, does it? Okay, so... Maybe we do this. Because Protos are just going to be so good here. And I guess I need this extra NG as well. Okay, fine. Rhino Tarsier, I guess? Or maybe if you hold the Rhino... What? Why did you buy a second mobile animus if you just want to click Phage? It's like a $4 drone? I'm puzzled. Yeah, so I was thinking about holding back my Rhino to let me buy another Phage, and I wondered if opponent would make a similar play. It seems yes. What are they going to do with 3 red? I should get a second mobile animus here. Or no, maybe I should wait until I can buy a whole animus and still live. I think that's better. Because buying many mobiles is just very inefficient. Shouldn't you click Phage, buy Phage instead of getting perf? I don't know, I guess this puts on a lot of pressure. I don't know if I'm actually defended enough to buy Protos, but I get a third Phage, which is pretty great. And I can use Force Fields and Rhinos instead, I guess. This kills an attacker, so our opponent only has 5. Holding a drone defends the Proto. And I can buy NGs. I could click the mobile, maybe, but I don't think that's a great idea. I'm just hoping this is going to be tough for them to deal with, having Protos every turn. Like, that's why I got green, was to do stuff like this. So this kills 2 attackers. So this defends. Ooh, excellent. And I can just get perfs. Actually, do I need these NGs? I have a Rhino who's going to be defending. And they're like running out of Rhinos real fast. They basically just have 3 attack. I think I'll be okay. Let's get a drone. Maybe a conduit's better for force fields. Drone's so greedy. I'll have this perf as well. Yeah, I think I can be greedy. It'll be okay. It makes me exploitable, but that's sort of fine. Oof. Blue, huh? Yeah, I think this one's looking pretty game over here. They didn't manage to do enough attack to actually threaten to hurt me, so I don't have to play around any of their threat. How much attack are we killing here? 2? So they have 5 attack? I really just, like, want more tech or more drones. I'm not sure which. Well, get an Animus, right? It's both. And then an NG first. No, NG's lame. Get a drone. You have defense to spare with this holding this perf whenever you want. Right, that's the nice thing about Blood Phages is like this extra Animus. I don't know. Is it tech? Is it money? Who cares? It's both, right? It costs $6, and I can turn it into $2 per turn if I want. So it was like drones that don't cost energy, but also they're, you know, I can spend it as red if I can afford to do so. So this is killing probably 2 attackers, but probably 3, but maybe just 2. I mean, so Proto is already defended again, and I can just get another Phage. And I don't need the NG. Again, they're attacking for 3, maybe 4, but probably just 3. Let's buy a Brooder just to tell them their blue was dumb. Sorry, I shouldn't say dumb. It could sound offensive. It's not going to be very useful. Their blue was the wrong idea. Get a third Animus? Sure. I can spend a lot of red per turn this game. This seems alright. The perf is both soak and threatens fast attack to spend my red and whatever. Yeah. I don't know why opponent hasn't resigned yet. It seems pretty clearly over. They haven't killed any of my units in many turns. Six consecutive wins. How nice. So, what about this game? On the one hand, like, the key, like, obviously winning moment was being able to buy a Proto and a Conduit so that I can buy Protos per turn. After that, the game was, like, nail in the coffin, absolutely over. Because opponent has, like, exactly 3 permanent attacks. The Proto's always getting value. And the only defense they have is, like, to lose Rhinos. So they clearly just can't cope with the Proto. But, like, this was the moment where it was obvious that I had won. The question is, when did I actually win? And also, like, why did that happen? You might say, oh, you know, opponent just didn't realize that Proto was so important in this set. But, like, I think player 2 just has a pretty great approach with this, like, turn 2 mobile Animus. And I don't know. If player 1 tries to go slower with, like, DD, DD, DDA or something, they're going to be quite a bit behind. And they can't do something like Rhino Phage. They would have to, like, cut a drone on turn 3 to get Rhino Phage on turn 4. Which doesn't seem great, but maybe it's okay. And anyway, like, this undercut seems like a reasonable try at, like, well, player 2 has a really good opening. Let's try something that might pressure them off of it somehow. And the problem is that having done this, you no longer have access to Proto, however. So you have to, like, actually put on so much pressure that I can't Proto in order for this to be successful, I think. Or maybe go into Protos yourself somehow. Maybe the second mobile Animus was... I just... It doesn't seem great, right? That was why I tried not to get a second mobile Animus, was because I anticipated wanting, like, a third red. And if I can buy them at the same time, I get a discount, right? Instead of paying 8 for 2 MOBAs, I pay 6 for an Animus. And so, I don't know about opponent's mobile Animus here. Like, actually, instead of mobile Animus drone, like, wouldn't it be better to just get Animus? Assuming, like, you can spend 2 red per turn and click Phage to spend the third, then that's better. So this is only better if you're, like, worried that you can't spend all your red. But in that case, you still don't want the second mobile Animus, right? Because you're saying I can't spend 2 red per turn. In which case, like, don't buy the second red. Right? It's just a worse drone in that case. So I think that this mobile Animus plus drone is just strictly worse than Animus. Well, it's strictly worse than either Animus or drone. Right, one of those two plays is better depending on what position you think you're in. I guess you could argue that there's some middle path where, like, this is definitely worse than something, but maybe it allows you to react better to whatever I might do. Like, maybe each of those other plays somehow loses to something I do, and this, like, treads the line in between. I don't think that's the case, but you could maybe argue that this is not a strictly bad play. But I think it is, in most universes, worse than one of those two plays. So, I don't know. That was a slight problem opponent had. Yeah, and like buying phages to buy MOBAs to click the phages is just not an efficient use of your resources. Yeah. And here I like finally, you know, got the stuff I needed to keep the proto, make the proto thing work. And then it was over. It was fun to buy 3 animuses, but you know, anything was winning it as long as I just kept buying proto every turn. Opponent didn't have enough to kill me. I guess I could have eventually run out of protos, but by that time I've built up such an advantage that it's fine. So I don't know. This seems like a good opening for player 1, but maybe you're supposed to go DD, DD, DDA or something like that, or AC on turn 3 rather. Maybe. I'm not sure what that line would look like. It doesn't feel very comfortable. Okay, well, that one was pretty quick. Let's just try to get in another game. No games live. Well, let's go to the armory while we wait. Hopefully we won't have to wait long, but if we do, then like here's your armory snippet, guys. I don't. All right. I like that one. It's nice to have an Emperor emote available. Yeah, and I guess I'm spending 100 on something, so I spend 25 on this, and I pick my favorite of these. I don't really like any of them, so let's take the emote. Okay. None of these are really worth spending shards on. Really don't like any of this, but the Brazil drone's actually kind of cute. Gauss cannons, yep. Actually, I'll take the infusions. I don't really care about any of these emotes or skins. Unlike I do occasionally spend infusions on emotes, as you can see. I guess I can't make the emote menu pop up now, but you know, it's a good game emote and so on. I don't know. Kind of a cute Deadeye. I think I like the one I have better, but you know, you have to pick something. Sure. Oh yeah, right, sure. I want an Auric skin. Best unit in the game. Wow, that's a lot of white. We could get there, guys. Hold your breath. Yeah, good old triple X. This set is not really that exciting to me. I'm not gonna spend anything to have more chances at those units. If we finish the armory without getting matched, by the way, I'm gonna just end the video. That'll be the bonus content to pad this out to a sort of reasonable length. Sure, the Shredder. Actually, the Cryo Ray, sure. I don't like moving emotes really, or moving skins much, but I'll take Wally. And, ooh, I like the hydraulic Gauss cannon. What did we get? Nothing yet. Okay. Hey, it's Wally. There you go, a useful emote to have. The Bear Blood Rager, I guess? I already have a Blood Rager I like, but I also like to collect the natural skins. Clear Pineapple Pixie. I like the army skins as well. And, bullets don't phase me? That's not even how I would spell phase. Yeah, I guess it is. Yeah, that's correct. Okay. This is not a PHA phase. Ah, you guys, you made it. We're gonna get to play another game. Banana Split. Here we go. Huh. So I guess the question is, like, is Savior gonna live with Polywall, or do Tesla and Plasma Fire kill it too fast? Polywall is pretty stonking great for Savior. It's like the best Savior enabler. But these two units put on a lot of pressure, right? You would open like DD, DD, DDC, DDB. I think that Savior gets there, actually. But maybe you take kind of a slow Savior to make sure you still have polywalls available. The problem is the player 1 Savior, like, if I get a third NG here, opponent gets Conduit quite comfortably. It's, like, better for them. Like, they have an easier time punishing Savior, or threatening it anyway. DC, DDB, Tesla. Meanwhile, I've gone E, triple D, B. I can get a wall in response to their Tesla, but I can't get the Savior yet. I guess that's the slow Savior I was thinking of, and it seems like it's okay against Teslas, and I'll give it a shot. Alright, they're gonna follow. Cool. Think you're supposed to not get the third NG when you do this? Because, like, I mean, I guess it's fine. I don't have some punish, do I? While they're on extremely few drones? Like, if they don't respond to this with a forge, they're pretty sad, right? And if they do respond to it with a forge, they're even sadder? Because then they're only on, like, 8 drones? Like, is this crazy? If they don't get a forge, I just wreck 3 NGs and they can't buy drones anymore. If they do get a forge, they're really sad. I think this is a good punish. I think this was the wrong Savior build. What if I don't get this drone? Then I can Tesla Conduit into plasmas. Or, well, 1 plasma. Seems good. Alright, they're gonna have a pretty small Savior. But they did get there. God, I'm gonna fucking lose another save. Ooh. Really? Okay. I don't know, it's scary. But they don't have a lot of drones. I have too much green. And also not a lot of drones myself. Okay, but if they do this, they've got to lose, right? How can they live with 8 drones? Or 8 income on 4 drones. God, am I gonna lose again? I am. I hate my life. This is just awful. God. This loses, right? 1,000,000% loses. Yeah. They can just rebuild drones after firing all the plasmas, and then I'm out. They kill all my attackers. Alright, well, I guess that's that. I still think this was the right approach. Maybe what I should have done was not get greedy and go for plasmas. Just get like more Teslas or something. Or take an off turn here to build like this, maybe? Well, against this they get a... Oh, they can't polywall. Very funny. But they can do this and be okay next turn, right? This kind of makes their polywall like okay value. The thing is, like, they kind of want a polywall next turn, right? And so any amount of damage between 6 and 8 is like the same. I guess I could do this. 3. This is 9 damage. It's also possible that I respected their plasma clicks too early. In like spots where they couldn't realistically have actually clicked it. I built too much defense against it, maybe. Like the first plasma they had was clearly never getting clicked. I think this plasma's good. Or this poly, rather. Well. Okay. No, this is allowing them to click and deny me a Tesla. No, I only need to click 1 Tesla. Yeah, this is fine, I guess. They don't actually click this, but they want to not defend with it, so they consider that line. Now polywalls are great for them. And I'm just like mega dead, right? Oh, whoops, they don't click that plasma. I don't even need their second blue. I click a polywall, like, yeah, good for me, huh? Again, they're not actually defending like this, they just want to look at it, and I'm just toast. This is way worse. Okay, so It looks like it was more realistic. I had better winning chances by putting on more pressure. And here actually was my chance, I think, if I was going to try to put on even more pressure. I think I should have just said, look, they're not clicking this plasma. Right, let them breach for 2 if they want. Get another Tesla. NG to fuel them, right? And this is like super all in, but they can't breach for anything important, so I don't think they can click anyway, even if they wanted to. This way it's hard for them to keep droning up. Oh, whoops, I forgot to click plasma for them. Click savior, I mean. Now they threaten a more serious breach. This is very scary, but I think I'm still losing. Yeah. Don't click the savior though. Or the plasma. I'm just killing myself too fast, and they're like kind of stable. They're able to defend all this. I can't even keep all the NGs alive. Yeah, I'm dead. Man, Savior is so good. I might still be over defending actually, because they can't actually click all the plasmas and live. Uh-oh. This does in fact defend because I can't click everything. Man. Okay, well I shouldn't buy the splitter then, right? I should get an NG. If I'm getting NGs, I don't need as many force fields. I guess they're not stable. They're losing. No, they're not actually clicking these plasmas. They're just using them as defense while I kill myself. This defends. Right? Like, this 13 attack isn't enough to do anything. They just have to build polywall, wall, and defend onto plasma. Right? Which is 15 plus a drone. They're getting 20, which means they can build drone, and even like they're netting +1 NG every turn this way. Meanwhile, I'm just like absolutely getting murdered. So this is losing too. Wow. I mean, I guess I'm not surprised because that seems like a sort of baddish line compared to what I did, which I thought was a reasonable approach. I guess another thing I could have tried differently would be to not start with a Tesla, but to like get one extra like drone and build some smaller attackers here. But I think they still do this. I don't need the Gauss cannon exactly because they kind of want to build a wall anyway, I think. Yeah, maybe they're okay with losing 1 NG, and I need the Gauss cannon eventually anyway. Now I come in with the Teslas. And I like sort of wasted less attack, but I don't think this is really actually good. They suddenly gain access to polywall, which is already good. I have to actually give them absorb even. Well, I don't. I get a splitter hold that's sort of useful. So it means I don't have to respect the plasma fire. And it's tough for me to keep building NGs to support all this, but suppose that I can. I don't know. Again, they just get a polywall, and it's just gross. And I'm like miles behind now. No chance at all. Okay, well, I mean, of the approaches that I tried, I think the one I played in the actual game comes closest to being competitive. But Savior is just so bonkers. And Polywall enables it well enough, even against, like, all this stuff. And I you know, in my pregame analysis, I was, like, thinking, is that, you know, there's Polywall, but, like, there's green-blue, does that rush it down fast enough? And I decided that, like, the green-blue doesn't rush it down fast enough. Polywall is just so amazing for Savior. But then opponent tried this, which, like, I don't know what that's all about. The third NG makes no sense if you're gonna float the energy for at least 2 turns in a row. There's got to be some point in here where they would happily sell an NG for $2. Like here, for example, they could have built one more drone, and that's like a Savior drone even. So I think the extra NG was a mistake. But I guess if it baited me into skipping Savior, it was a great play. Alright, well, let's go finish up in the armory, I guess. Or the Black Lab. I don't know, I don't like any of this. I'll try this Boombox Giveryetti. It's kind of cool. Oh, wow, got blue on the first go. Not bad. It's a pretty good emote. Or skin. I don't know the difference between those two words. Skins... I mean, I could, right? But I got the googly eyes dude, right? He's just so, like... I know I love these natural skins, but the googly eyes are just so ridiculous. And this one, you know, even more so. I don't think... This bear just lacks personality. Whereas the Blood Rager oozes personality. So I think I'll stick with what I got, thanks. Anyway, that's it for this episode. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.